Istanbul, where President Recep Tayyip Erdogan is holding a briefing following a weekly cabinet meeting. Let's listen in.
And I hope this enlightenment shine its light on everyone. The COVID-19 pandemic, which is impacting our country just like everyone else, we have come to a turning point. Turkey, since the beginning, has struggled with the pandemic under the framework of four major aspects. One, the social distancing, keeping the healthcare sector afoot, the supply chain and strength of the supply chain, and public order being maintained. Many other countries have had problems with these aspects, but Turkey has been able to put forth an exemplary struggle against this COVID-19 pandemic. We have had very original models and been able to bring these to life. We have kept our death rates very low and have also slowed down the infection rate. Our new case rate has come down to the 1,000, and the amount of new cases, the amount of cases who are intubated or on ventilators is lower, but in other countries it's going up much higher. Whether it be, it's the sacrifices of doctors and technicians, and in our hospitals, those we do not see any visions that hurt our conscience. Since the first days of the pandemic, we have taken knowing steps and in a timely manner. Our health ministry, and under its framework, the scientific council that we have created, we have taken the necessary measures. When we look at other countries who have had the pandemic, we've shut our borders down very quickly with them, and we have stopped the education year at schools. We've also stopped programs and organizations where people gather, and also businesses that have many people come together. We have either stopped them or limited them. We have, instead of having prayer as congregation in mosques, we have pushed for it to be individually. We have also helped many people work from home. We have limited intercity travel, and we have decreased the level of movement within the country. And we have also prepared support programs for many sectors who are being impacted. The service and financing support package is more than 200 billion Turkish liras. We have also given cash support as well. Our first two social support programs, we have been able to help over 4 million of our citizens with over 1,000 lira of help. And also our third social support program, our efforts continue to prepare it. The We Are Enough for Ourselves Turkey campaign, which we started, the donations are 1,910,000,000 as of Turkish liras as of now, and our campaign continues. Our people during these troubling days have been able to support each other and have showed an exemplary amount of support. And while our country is doing this, we have not forgotten our citizens abroad either. The air traffic bridges that we have built, we have brought back over 65,000 of our citizens home. Just since April 16th, the amount of people who we have brought home is more than 29,000. These citizens that have come back, we have held them in dormitories for 14 days for quarantine, and then we have been able to stop the spread of the infection. From masks to protective overalls to disinfectant and ventilators. We have not just only been self-sufficient, we have also sent medical aid to 57 other countries. Most recently to Somalia, we have sent medical aid, but we have also sent our own locally made ventilator as well. These ventilators are the very first ventilators in Somalia that are in service now. Also to the United States and to many other countries as well. The medical supplies that they have needed, we have sent to them, and we will continue to. We have also have treatment and vaccine development programs. We are continuing our cooperation on an international level. Today, there's a pledge conference for a coronavirus vaccine, and we joined via video conference and made our pledges to support. The group of people 65 years and older, and also the carrier age, which is 20 years and younger, we have kept them home, and this has helped stop the spread. Our major metropolitan cities and also Zonguldak, the lockdowns that we have initiated on the weekends has greatly contributed to slowing down the rate of infection as well. Also, in the framework of our health ministry and the close partnership with the scientific council, these measures that we have taken have brought us to these positive days. Our 83 million citizens, the support that they have given us in the fight against the coronavirus, and their patience, I thank them personally on my behalf and my cabinet as well. Hopefully, we will see the fruits of our efforts in the upcoming period. My saintly people, the measures that we have taken, we have now entered 1.5 months. There are many students who have not been able to go to their schools. There are store owners who have not opened their businesses, workers who have not been able to work, or the youth who have not gone out to the streets, and also the elderly who have had to limit their lives. I know that they miss their old lives. And of course, we will return back to a normal life phase by phase. But also, let's not forget this and keep it in our mind. The whole world and our country as well, nothing will be normal as it used to be, and it will not be able to go back to that normal. This until treatment and when treatment and vaccinations will be provided is not known yet. Yes, we will come back to normal, but there will be a new normal. Even though some of the limitations will be eased, there will be some limitations. In crowded areas, social distancing and using masks will continue. There's countries that where the pandemic continues, so it's uncertain when international travel will open. And also the fluctuations in financial markets will bring out new problems. So domestically, the pandemic, and also internationally, the pandemic, we will, our Vice President's coordination and also with our cabinet's participation, we have prepared a normalization plan. The plan that I'm about to announce has been prepared with the help of our ministries, the expectation of our people. Of course, one more time, I would like to underline and state this calendar from the first days of March. It does not mean that we will return to that pre-pandemic period. The normalization plan that I'm going to share with you soon we are targeting to bring the lives of our people to the best possible state during this pandemic. And we will continue this fight till the end and succeed. my saintly people, the limitations will be eased. In May, June, and July, we will spread out these phase-by-phase limitations being lifted. Protecting social distance and wearing masks will continue, and also abiding by hygiene rules. These are the very important factors of this normalization plan. In May, I would like to share with you the Health Ministry, all sectors in our country, they have prepared guidelines and have already sent these guidelines out to the necessary institutions. All businesses and institutions will conduct operations according to this guidebook. Our first news, all those 65 years and older and 20 years and younger, this is for you. For 65 years and older, in the first phase, the limitation for lockdown on one of these days, they will have the permission to leave the house within walking distance for 4 hours. May 10th, between 11 and 3, this will be realized. For those under 20, this flexibility will be in 2 separate phases, from 0 to 14 years old on weekdays, from May 13th to from 11 to 3 within walking distance will be able to leave their house. And from 15 to 20, May 15th, Friday, also under the same conditions and same hours, will be able to leave their house and get some oxygen. And in the coming weeks, the same application will continue. So as such, this weekend, there will be a curfew limitation again. And the 31 provinces and the limitations of intercity travel, from tonight on, for 7 of our provinces, we are lifting this restriction. These provinces are Antalya, Aydın, Erzurum, Hatay, Malatya, Mersin, and Muğla. Every weekend, we will evaluate situations with our provinces and we will make new decisions. The other 24 provinces, the entrance and exit from these provinces have been extended by 15 days. Istanbul, Ankara, and Izmir, for commercial taxis, the odd and even number license plate application will be lifted May 5th. Small businesses will be able to take in, like barbers and beauty salons, will be able to open May 11th with the condition of having empty seats between customers. And also malls from May 11th on may open for business again. And also clothing stores, shoes, and businesses who sell these types of products may open May 11th if they abide by these guidelines. As part of the normalization period, the medical masks and clothing masks, which we have stopped the sale of, we will now allow for the sale of these products in areas that are easy to access for our public. We will choose a maximum price for these masks so our people will not suffer price gouging. And also our Religious Affairs Directorate will meet with other countries and decide about Hajj pilgrimage. And also the Muslim world will make the Muslim world needs to take a collective decision, and also for military service will start May 31st. The appointment, handing out duties, and taking on new personnel will start June 5th, and also paid military service will start June 20th. The municipal loan and also İller Bank auctions will open again. Pandemic hospitals, starting June 1st, will be decreased, and they will go back to their normal guidelines. Regarding education, according to what our Ministry of Health and the Scientific Council has told us, we have made our guidelines. Grad school tests will be June 28th and 30th. High school exams 28th June, and military exams June 14th. And courts and all of the necessary procedures of courts will end on June 15th and go back to normal. My saintly people, the Ministry of Health and the Scientific Council, this normalization package that we prepared under their guidance, we will apply this in a very dynamic manner. The developments may push us to move some dates forward and push some back. This is possible. Our country, when it comes to the level that we want it to, this is a decision we'll make with all 83 million people together. The rules and regulations prepared in the guidelines by the Ministry of Health, if we all follow it, we will get out of this situation quicker. But if these rules and regulations are not followed or disobeyed, and if the pandemic once again begins to grow, then we might take even tougher measures again. There are many countries who are an example of lowering the pandemic infection rate, but then easing restrictions and having a second wave. We don't want to be this country. We have taken all the necessary measures that our scientists and medical professionals have told us. Where there's a pandemic, there should not be travel to a pandemic area as well. And there should also not be, you should also not leave if you are stuck in a pandemic area. This is the words of the prophet. And after the pandemic, let's not forget that nothing will be as normal again. In our country, political, economic, social, and cultural, in every field, there will be a new awakening and a new resurrection. Because in our country, from the time of a single party to now, even during the pandemic periods, those who express their hate and their darkness and spread it, there are many examples. The will of the people, democracy, legality, this fascist thinking tries to, which misses coups, these CHP executives who, when you look at their rhetoric, this is what it tells us when we look at their rhetoric. We have a 70-year democracy experience, and we see that they have not learned anything. Instead of coming to the government via democracy, there seems that many that move with hope of a coup, and even though they've got their answer on July 15th, we see that they still have not learned. Even in the recent period, when we look at the bad examples, we see that they will never become successful. CHP executives, when we see what they do and they call it politics, it has nothing to do with democracy or humanity. They constantly lie, and you cannot lie and do politics. You cannot misinform with wrong data. This is not how you do politics. And you cannot continue to libel and slander. This is not how you do politics. When they know that they are not right, and they see that they do not care about the political and social repercussions of what they do, this is not politics. There are some who have, their chairman who have became a chairman because of a video cassette. They are still using the same tactics. We have nothing to say to their managers and their chairman. We are youth and women. We invite them to have a bigger role in politics, and we will not allow others to stop this from happening. The way to increase the quality of politics is to wipe away and liquidate this dirty way of thinking. My saintly people, the CHP managers and their way of thinking inside the media and their counterparts, I tell them one more time, I warn them, don't mess with us. The Turkish people will bury you in that ballot, or those coup plotters who you try to get support from, they will not allow them to make way either or progress. Because you you're not respectful of the people's will, the people's thoughts, and the people's dreams. And how many ever you have always walked with the bad people in this country. You've never walked shoulder to shoulder with these people. Because you, whether it be your history or whether it be morals, you do not have a center. Because you, in mythology, you have, from fear, you are like creatures, mythological creatures who feed off of fear. You are not, you have never helped mankind, and you have given much hurt and pain to the people, to the country, and since you cannot speak to them freely, there could be an earthquake and there'll be people stuck underneath the rubble, and you will try to make this number look higher. There'll be attacks to our economy, and while people are thinking about the future of their bread and their money, you will sit and talk about politics and try to make a gain from this. There'll be a coup attempt, and while our people are with their flags and standing against tanks, you will be on the balconies applauding these tanks, drinking coffee, watching TV. When terrorists are attacking our police, our military, our gendarmerie, you will make many lies to make the number of martyrs look higher. While we are planning operations against terrorists on our borders, you will defend terrorists and dictators whose hands are with blood. There will be a pandemic. Many countries will applaud our country's efforts, but the number of cases and deaths say that there's a cover-up, that we cannot find the necessary medicine, and you will spread these lies. Our country, especially our people, on any topic that is for the good of our people, we've never seen you try to help them. And we've never seen you say a positive word about this, whether it be Marmaray to the Istanbul airport, from our segmented roads to city hospitals. You've tried to create obstacles, and you use all these services, but your poisonous tongues will always talk down on these. The area and land for Atatürk Airport, in 45 days, the 1,000-bed capacity hospital, the 14, you have spent lies and slanders talking about 14 billion Turkish lira being wasted. But when we look at the city hospitals, you've talked about them being a black hole. But in the last 2 months, when we see how useful they've been, you have not even been regretful of what you have said about them, and you can't show it because that would require character. Everybody who uses these city hospitals, and also the people who go to Istanbul airport and talk about how beautiful it is, you still cannot digest this. And also, from leaving from Istanbul and driving on these highways, it takes 3 hours to get to Izmir, and just to be provocative, you attack people and spread lies. But this type of understanding has reached its end. Humanity, the way it will beat the COVID virus in the end, Turkey will also beat this wrong way of thinking, hopefully, so it never comes back and bury it into history. Turkey, in a new period, its most important gains is one of them is this change in politics. I hope for this. My saintly people, as Turkey, from one side we will struggle with the pandemic and the tough times created by the pandemic, but also we will not forget about our people's security either. The terrorist organization, while Turkey is struggling with the pandemic, within our borders and outside of our borders, is trying to use this opportunity to attack. Even this stance shows how far from humanity this terrorist organization is. And in our country, even though their numbers are much lower, they still have a presence. These terrorists who are looking for us to strike, we will not allow them to. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, we are following these terrorists, and when we find them, we hit them. In the north of Iraq and in Syria, in a wide area, these terrorists who operate in this area, we are watching their every step. Our security services across the border is continuously launching operations. And the areas that we have made safe zones in Turkey, in Syria, there are many members of these terrorist organizations who try to get into these safe zones, but we destroy these targets instantly. And the terror organization, we are trying to keep it out of these boundaries that we have set and stop regime attacks. But unfortunately, no country are keeping their promises. This is what we see. Our safe zones are constantly under attack. These attacks and these obstructions, we do not have much more patience for this. The terrorist organization and the regime and those who are their patrons, if they cannot control them, we know how to make them obey with our own power. According to developments in the upcoming period, we may take new steps. In Libya, the official government and the legitimate government who we support, Haftar has now entered a period of decline. The areas that he occupies and those who continue to support him financially and with weapons, that will not be enough. Soon in Libya, we will have good news, I believe. Libya's security and the peace of its people throughout North Africa and the Mediterranean, this is the key to peace in that area. And with this understanding, the legitimate Libyan government, we will continue to support this government, and we will bring this area to symbolize peace. And in 7 days, right before the harvest, we will also I want to give good news to our farmers. We are increasing the price of the wheat that we are purchasing from 1,350 liras to 1,600 liras. Also, for our farmers, we are increasing the premium payments and making support payments as well. From red lentil to 3,500, to green lentil to 3,200, to chickpeas to 3,350 lira. The premium and support payments will be 800 a ton. And these grains and cereals payments, I hope, are beneficial for our people. And from God, this normalization program that we have announced, I hope that it's beneficial for our people, for our healthcare professionals. During this period, they have put forth incredible efforts. All of our public and private servants, I thank you. And because of this pandemic, those who have lost their lives, and also those who have been martyrs due to attacks from terror attacks, I express my condolences. May God help us. I give you all my respect and love.
We've been listening to Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan speak live there.